Chitralekha R. Second year English, Pioneer College. The Kuttippuram Bridge by Edasseri, Govindan Nair. I have known the Kuttippuram ferry from my childhood. This poem was born out of mixed feelings I experienced when I crossed the bridge built recently over this river. Upon the bridge built recently, at a cost of 23 lakhs, I stand proud, my eyes fixed on the dwindling Perar below. This is the river on whose sandy shores I once played endless games of Putangol. The river in whose cool waves I dipped for daily prayers. Now I stand proud and tall, level with the kingfisher, the sparrow and the crane that once flew over here, my eyes fixed on the Pera below. Here is the river bank that would be washed away when the river was in spate, when no bird would venture out or kite dare fly across. O Nila, you will swell again and inundate your banks, but I can't help laughing at the thought of you crawling under this bridge now, doing a tame nata. Yet, as I stand tall, my foot firm on this mammoth human achievement, there wells up in my mind a dull ache I cannot fathom. Standing upon this bridge now, truly the threshold of a new world, I caress in my mind the rustic vista that fades away day by day of charming Ramalakshmi. My playmate from the day of my birth, now receding far, far away and ready to bid the final adieu. The wide expanse of paddy fields were green and yellow playfully intermingled, groves with houses flanked by fruit-bearing trees, slopes covered with flowers of myriad hues, festivals in the cavus marked by elegant lamps and the pipal tree with its stone-encircled base. The songs of the ploughman during the day and the fearsome silence of the night, all these are moving slowly away, yielding to stone, soot, cement, steel, raining over the flowers. Howling and surging ahead are tired in petrol, day and night. Walls spring up everywhere, jostling for space left and right. Everywhere the rough day is raucous, as is the rough night too. Everywhere noises quickening, everywhere movements quickening, strangers brawling, locking horns. No, not strangers, neighbors are. Strangers are neighbors and neighbors total strangers. Mallurkayam shall be a mere name from now on, and the deity of Mallur but a wayside deity. Even this Andimahakalan Kunnu that stands in still grandeur will seem like a spinning top hurled by a hot-headed child robot. Man is full of play, tears and laughter. If he turns into a machine, O Mother Pera, would you also turn into a grieving, reeking brain? About the author. Edasseri Govindan Nair was born in Kuttippuram in Malappuram district into an impoverished family with a feudal past. He was unable to study beyond primary school because he was compelled to seek a job early in life after his father's death in 1921. He worked as a clerk at a lawyer's office in Alappuzha and later continued to practice the trade in his native Ponnani. He remained in his profession till the end of his life. Poetry came almost naturally to Edasseri. His innate poetic powers were awakened at an early age by his mother, who used to ritually chant verses from the Ramayana to him, and by his elder sister, who was in the habit of telling him stories from the Puranas. Ponnani in the early 20th century was known as a breeding ground for poetry and nationalism. Edasseri imbibed the spirit of both and became active as a poet and a nationalist from the 1930s. Edasseri was a writer of poetry and plays. His mature poetry is characterized by its closeness to the culture and ethos of Kerala. He is the bard of Malayalam who sings about Kerala's verdant environment, its vegetation, flora, rituals, and festivals. The agrarian problem, the proletariat agony, and the nationalist struggle figure prominently in the poetry and plays of his devoted follower of Mahatma Gandhi. His major collections of poetry are Alakavalli 1940, Puttan Kalavu Marivalum 1951, Karutha Chettichigal 1955, Kavile Pattu 1966, Uripidi Nellika 1968, Kunguma Prabhadam 1975 and Andithiri 1977. Kootukrishi 1950, Kalayum Chiriyum 1954, Ennichutta Appam 1957 and Chaliyathi 1960 are his important plays. He is a recipient of the Sahitya Akademi Award in 1969 and the Kerala Sahitya Akademi Award in 1970. The Kuttippuram Bridge, Kuttippuram Palam, a poem originally published in Madhrubhumi Weekly in 1954 and later included in Karutha Chettichigal, is an expression of the poet's anxiety and uncertainty about the process of modernization that was slowly invading the rural world around the poet. Glossary and explanations. I have river. Most of Edasseri's poems begin with a prescript of this kind: dwindling, gradually diminishing in size; dip, immerse, bath; in spade, overflowing due to sudden flood; venture, undertake a risky journey; inundate, to flood, overspread with water; nata. Originally, Nata Nuluka is the act of crawling on all fours between the victor's legs as penalty upon losing a game. Mammoth, huge, enormous. Well up, to gush or pour up. Fathom, measure the depth of something. Threshold, entrance, gateway. Caress, touch gently and lovingly. Rustic, rural vista. Vista, view from a distance, pleasing view. Recede, move back, move away. Adieu, farewell, goodbye. Expanse, a wide area. Flanked by, covered by something on the sides. Myriad, a great number of. Soot, carbon powder produced by the incomplete burning of something. Howl, to make a loud sound. Surge, sudden forward or upward movement. Jostle, to force by pushing. Raucous, harsh, noisy. Brawling, fighting in a noisy way. Lock horn, engage in conflict. Mallurkayam, literally the Mallur deep, a part of the river that is very deep. Andi Mahakalan Kunnu, the name of a cliff on the banks of Bharatapuzha. Top, a conical toy that with a quick twist can be set to spin. Grandeur, magnificence, impressiveness. Reeking, smelling unpleasant. Drain, gutter, channel. Comprehension questions. Answer in a sentence or two. Question number 1. What makes the narrator feel proud as he stands on the newly built bridge? Question number 2. How does the narrator explain that the river was a part of his daily life? Question number 3. Level with the kingfisher, the sparrow and the crane that once flew over here. What is the irony in these lines? Question number 4. What happens when the river is in speed? Question number 5. But I can't help laughing. What thought makes the narrator feel like laughing? Question number 6. What is described in the poem as the threshold of a new world? Question number 7. Who was the narrator's playmate from the day of his birth? Question number 8. What has now come to reign over the flowers? Question number 9. What happens to neighborhood connections as a result of urbanizations? Question number 10. What, according to the narrator, are the fates awaiting the deity of Mallur and Antimahakalan Kunnu? Question number 11. What would happen to Mother Pera if man turns into a machine? Paragraph questions, answering not more than 80 to 100 words. Question number 1. How does the narrator contrast the river and the newly constructed bridge? Question number 2. Explain the usage doing a tame nata. Question number 3. The poem oscillates between pride and pain. Explain. Question number 4. How does the narrator describe the beauty of the village? Question number 5. How does the narrator describe the onset of urbanization? Question number 6. What are the similes, metaphors and images used by the narrator to represent mechanized development? Essay questions. Answer in not more than 200 to 250 words. Question number 1. Edasseri's poem, The Kuttippuram Bridge, is a critique of mindless urbanization. Explain. Question number 2. Edasseri's poem, The Kuttippuram Bridge, conveys its message through a series of strategically placed images and symbols. Elucidate. Question number 3. Discuss alternate models for Kerala's development in the light of the poem, The Kuttippuram Bridge by Edasseri.